the Mystics were moving the 2 games that were coming to their town with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. They were moving them to Baltimore. I'm just going to point it out for all of you. This is Angel Reese's home stomping grounds, by the way. So moving to Baltimore.
The Washington Mystics just executed the ultimate troll maneuver. If you thought the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese showdown was solely about basketball, think again. The rivalry has now spread to entire communities. Fans of Angel Reese are going crazy over the decision to move the home games against Clark's Indiana Fever to her hometown of Baltimore, Maryland, even though we know it's a money grab for the Mystics. The question now is, did they set Reese up for the ultimate humiliation in her hometown, or why couldn't they relocate it to Capital One Arena in Washington as they did last year? Either way, this is going to be pure WNBA craziness, and we're here for every second of it. Are you ready to go?
They're going to say, see ya there, see ya there. Now, the Indiana Fever stated, venue change. Our regular season game on May the 28th, on September 7th at the Washington Mystics are moving to CFG Arena in Baltimore, bruh. So as y'all can see here, say game location change, CFG Bank Arena, Baltimore, Maryland. CFG Bank Arena, Baltimore, Maryland. Somebody said, could it be the Mystic owner doesn't want the Caitlin Clark shine to be seen again?
This is the Caitlin Clark effect in full force, and spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with Reese's overhyped antics. The WNBA has never seen a player command this level of attention in such a short period of time, and the proof will be seen in Baltimore. Angel Reese's fans are completely out of control, and you can't help but laugh. Caitlin Clark is set to enter Reese's backyard twice this upcoming season, and the outcry from her fans will be hilarious.
Official release, straight from the NBA website, man. Indiana Fever 2025 road games at Mystics moved to Baltimore. So Angel, man, I mean, listen, y'all made a big deal 2 weeks ago about a Caitlin Clark billboard being put up in Chicago, the Windy City, the 3rd largest city in the country. Of course, they're going to have Caitlin Clark billboards. What are y'all going to do about this? Baltimore, be more careful. 2 games, oh my God.
When Clark arrived for the first time, Chicago fans already had a taste of it. The game was electric, the arena was full, and the energy was at an all-time high. But let's face it, people weren't there to watch Angel Reese Clank make jump shots and lose their cool on the court. They were there for the real show. The WNBA has been waiting for a player like Caitlin Clark to draw large crowds and generate genuine excitement, and she is proving why she is the biggest thing to happen to the league in years. No, that doesn't come from Reese's extravagant celebrations following a mediocre performance.
But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that.
These days, Sky fans who mistakenly believe that Angel Reese represents the league's future are scurrying every time Clark enters their city because it acts as an unavoidable reality check. Reese's fans have been promoting her for months as the next great thing, but the harsh reality is that you can't represent the league if no one outside of your bubble is interested. While Caitlin Clark is rewriting record books, selling out arenas, and attracting a completely new generation of WNBA fans, Rhea is only popular when she is moaning about missing wide-open layups or causing petty controversy.
There's a very thin line between hate and facts, and what I believe to be the case is that there was incremental growth in the WNBA comparatively to the exponential growth we are seeing now. What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means...
The WNBA thrives when Caitlin Clark is on the court. Prior to her arrival, the league struggled for attention, But now that arenas are full and TV ratings are skyrocketing, every franchise wants in on the action. Let's be honest, though, and it's not because Angel Reese occasionally drops a double-double against weak competition. Rather, it's because Caitlin Clark is a generational talent who makes every game an event that everyone wants to watch.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. She accounted also for helping drive the numbers of merchandising up 500%. Of course, her jersey was number one.
There is a huge difference between being a player who puts forth effort and being a true superstar. The WNBA is a business, and when it comes to who is driving ticket sales, merchandise sales, and TV ratings, the answer is crystal clear. It's not the player flexing after making a routine free throw. Chicago fans are clinging to a false narrative that Angel Reese is in the same league as Caitlin Clark, but let's face it, Clark is drilling logo threes like it's second nature, threading impossible passes, and delivering highlight moments every single game.
Jeez. Man. Y'all were mad about that billboard a couple of weeks ago. The Reese's Pieces were. I mean, I just... This is going to annoy Angel. I know it is. And I know that they had to because the MCI Center, whatever, Verizon Center is under renovation. But still.
Not only are the fans having a hard time with this reality, but the Chicago Sky organization is also in a difficult position because they have to promote Reese as their star. However, once Clark visits the city, she takes over the moment. The arenas are crowded, the jersey sales, and the viral highlights, it's all about Clark. While Reese's fans are trying to find an excuse for what's going on, saying she's fantastic for the culture. But the last time we looked, culture wasn't enough to cover the expenses.
Yeah, let me tell you about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark has brought so many eyes to women's basketball that it's amazing. A dude named Acho, I forgot his first name, is something Acho.
Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah. He showed how in 5 days before the draft, she made the WNBA more money than they would have made in the next 5 years without.
However, Caitlin Clark is outperforming everyone else in terms of both audience and money. The WNBA has never attracted this much national attention before, and let's face it, it's not because Angel Reese is grabbing rebounds. As soon as WNBA clubs see what Clark is accomplishing for Indiana, they all want a piece of the action. Reese's fans are left to witness yet another harsh reminder that their favorite isn't the main event, while Clark's mere presence transforms regular season games into prime-time spectacles, turning casual viewers into devoted fans.
So, it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of, just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
And when Reese struggles, there's always a new excuse. First, it's that she's young. Then, it's that she needs more time. Finally, it's that she's still getting used to it. Meanwhile, Clark is getting triple-teamed on every possession and continues to put up elite numbers. It's funny how one player is always given an excuse, while the other player consistently demonstrates why she's the biggest thing to happen to the WNBA in years.
The preseason game, Brazil versus the preseason game against the Brazilian national team sold out in 36 minutes, 15,000 fans. There's tickets for that game upwards of $4,500.
Reese's supporters are going crazy, and to be honest, it's comical. They're yelling, "Why isn't Angel receiving the same treatment? Why aren't teams going above and beyond for her?" The answer is too straightforward. She's not the Fever's ticket sales are skyrocketing, and opposing teams are literally moving games to bigger venues just to accommodate the overwhelming demand to see Caitlin Clark in action. Meanwhile, Reese's fans are left wondering where our sold-out stadium is. Caitlin Clark is selling out 10,000-seat arenas in minutes, turning every city she plays in into a marquee event.
I mean, all over. I mean, a lot of these tickets are crazy. But I'm just like, it's not even about the price for me. I'm just thinking about, like, I'm comparing the Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky, because they said that it was like Me Too. Like, you guys are watching women's basketball because of Me Too. I mean, bro, everybody could get into this. Like, literally everybody could get into this game.
Reality check. Because to the extremely high demand, no one is shifting games for Angel Reese or rushing to find larger venues. The unmatched league experiment has already demonstrated that the excitement just changes when Clark isn't around. While Reese is stuck playing the role of the loudest voice in the room demanding respect, something she hasn't yet earned, her fans continue to wait for the world to bow down and treat her like basketball royalty, but the truth is undeniable. There are levels to this. Reese's fans aren't clamoring for tickets to see her, and they aren't pressuring franchises to expand arenas just so they can watch her hoop, and that's the difference.
Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not I.
Sheila Johnson, the owner of the Washington Mystics, truly believed that her speech about Caitlin Clark made a statement. She stood there preaching that the media should focus on the underappreciated stars of the WNBA and that the league shouldn't just focus on Clark. But let's get this straight. When it suits the agenda, Clark is just another player, nothing special, but when the ticket sales start coming in, she's the biggest thing to ever happen to the Idiots. The contradiction is absurd. If this was truly about boosting all WNBA players, why weren't they moving stadiums earlier?
So the Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson goes on CNN and says that the entire WNBA should have been put on the cover of Time magazine. It is hard to get away from this conversation because it just keeps making national news. And to be frank, I've never seen a story in the WNBA get as much widespread coverage as this is getting. I honestly can't wait until the season's back in so we can get more about basketball talk. But back to this.
So last night we read Time magazine where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on that cover and said the WNBA is the league of the year because of all the talent that we have? Because when you just keep singling out one player, it creates hard feelings.
Why didn't they sell out of games earlier? Yes, Angel Reese and the others weren't attracting these types of audiences. Sheila, the WNBA would be making NBA-level revenue by now if they had $1 for every time someone tried to minimize Caitlin Clark while secretly benefiting from her. It's the same cycle every time they refuse to give Clark credit, but she's the reason arenas are filling up, the reason casual fans are tuning in, and the reason the league is seeing record-breaking interest. Now, the same people who are rolling their eyes at her hype are restructuring their entire business model just to get a piece of it.
But I've got a theory that Sheila Johnson is trying to do two things here. Number one, she's trying to screw Indiana Fever fans and Caitlin Clark fans. 6,000 less tickets available. Number two, while lining her pockets even more. Now, you might be like, well, Rhodes, I don't get it. Well, it's simple. Less tickets means the gate prices, all right? The gate prices for the game will actually go up. In other words, just like that preseason game, they has got tickets for $4,500. A run-of-the-mill game like this, even we all know Caitlin Clark tickets are expensive.
So let's just call it Sheila. At the end of the day, you know exactly who the true attraction is, which is why your team is moving games and why you're pursuing this revenue wave. You may talk all you want about drawing attention to other players. You can reject it all you want, but don't stop cashing those checks while you do. Caitlin Clark is the future, not simply a trendy issue. Clark's influence is so evident that, despite selling out her first Indiana Fever preseason game against Brazil in less than an hour, some people are still perplexed and question whether they require a comprehensive PowerPoint presentation to understand why she receives so much attention. This isn't difficult. While other WNBA players are essentially begging for people to attend their games like they're throwing a free neighborhood barbecue, Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, and her demand is through the roof. Fans didn't just buy tickets, they broke the ticketing system.
Caitlin Clark doesn't just move the needle, she is the needle. And if you need any more proof of that, the Indiana Fever exhibition game sold out in just about 30 minutes.
And let's face it, no one is more blatantly deluded than Angel Reese's followers, who honestly think she merits the same response as Caitlin. That would be like expecting a small garage band to sell out. Madison Square Garden people who had never followed women's basketball before suddenly started following every game, statistic, and record that Clark broke.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Every time Clark takes the court, she is demonstrating her dominance in the WNBA, and the numbers support it. It's a big event that attracts national media attention, fills arenas, and has fans waiting for hours to catch a glimpse. Meanwhile, Reese fans act as though she deserves the same amount of enthusiasm because she once made fun of Caitlin for her TikTok dances, but that's not enough. Clark puts on shows every night that are game-changing.
She's just their Reese.
There's some hundreds in there. Don't play with them. There's some hundreds in there. Do not play with the Chicago Sky. There are hundreds in there. You see this? Okay. Oh, here goes the Indiana Fever. Wow.
While Reese fans are still out there trying to convince the world that she's on the same level as the greats, Clark is being compared to them, shattering viewership records and forcing networks to reconsider how they cover the WNBA. However, one player is selling out arenas in minutes, while the other isn't creating nearly as much buzz. Clark is the one making a difference. She has NBA players promoting her, casual fans who are completely devoted to her, and little children who want to be like her. This is what true star power looks like.
It's a big situation again, like Caitlin Clark selling out Iowa, sold out a preseason game. People saying it sold out in 40 minutes. This is within 20 minutes. Like, obviously, you couldn't get onto the damn website. It's sold out. You could have been trying to refreshing the page and not got tickets. Most of the time, it officially sold out in 40 minutes, but like realistically, it almost crashed the website.
Meanwhile, Reese's admirers are behaving as though there is a complex plot against her, but the reality is straightforward. People care about Caitlin Clark because she makes the game exciting and encourages viewers to purchase jerseys. Arena's the difference, according to Reese, is that she causes arguments on social media. Reese fans can continue to cope, but reality won't change anytime soon. They can throw tantrums, write think pieces, and attempt to force this angel is the face of the WNBA narrative all they want. But reality doesn't care about emotions. The public knows what's going on, and the numbers don't lie. Go ahead, Reese fans, and yell into thin air about unfair treatment or convince yourself that it's all media hype about Caitlin. But the truth remains that Clark is here, and everything attendance ratings and media attention prove it. Caitlin Clark has returned, and Angel is back. Do you agree that Reese is simply another player witnessing greatness develop in front of her? If so, please let us know in the comments. Subscribe and enable all alerts so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.